So on today's video, we're going to be doing my monthly reset for November. Now, I know that I'm dressed the same as the last video that I posted on Sunday. Guys, when you bash filming, I don't have time to be changing, so don't mind that. It was all filmed in the same day. Ne? So I want us to first look at October. How did it go? And then we're going to look at planning for November. Now, it has been, I don't know where to start. Let's just get into it. Ne? So we're gonna first look at my goals. What did I say I want to do, and where was I able to achieve those things or work towards those things? The first one is I wanted to save for home for at least 10. I wanted to save at least 10,000. I wasn't able to do this, and that is because of a lot of things that happened this month. I'll share that with you when we get to the budget part, but I couldn't get to this. I was able to put up way, I think at most it was 6,000 or 5,000. I think it was 6,000 at most that I was able to put in here. No, it was about 8,000 that I was able to put in here. Then I used the money from there for other things that are not related for this goal, you know. And this is to also show you that, you know, I'm also like you. When I say I want to do something and I save for something, it's not every time that I'm going to use it exactly for that thing. This is life, you guys. You know, things happen, and I'm also not like, you know, a robot. I also face the same challenges that you guys face, or I encounter same things that you guys encounter. So Nami, I saved for something and I ended up having to use that money for something else. Right now in those savings, I have about 3,000 something, and that's money that I'm going to need now in November for other things, you know. But the money that I had hoped to build up in this savings didn't happen. Okay, and then another one is I wanted to reach 90,000 on my emergency fund. Yes, I did this. I deposited 8,000. I wanted to deposit more than that, but I deposited 8,000. But because my portfolio was already sitting on 81,000, I was sitting on 82,000. I was able to get to 90,000. So I am on 90,000. We are very close to hitting the 100K mark, but I don't know if I'm going to even prioritize it right now. There's so many things that are on my mind, so many things that need my money, and so I don't know. We'll see if I make any money on the side that I feel like I can put in there that I do not need, that I'm going to do that. But also we're going to look at our budget in November and see if it's going to be feasible, or it's even possible, if it is even possible for us to reach this 100,000. So those were my goals for the month of October. So we hit one goal, the other one we didn't hit. It's fine, it's life. Okay, now let's get to my budget. Now I want us to look at my budget. In my income was fairly the same thing, the way that I had hoped that it would be, so that's fine. But then I was also able to put, instead of 10,000, I was able to put 8,000 in my emergency fund. Education fund, I was able to put the 1,100 that I normally put. And then Stockville, I was able to put in 500 rands on there. And then home, I was able to save some money. I think it was over 7,000, but then I used the money. Now when we get to my expenses, I'll share with you where I used the money on. And then MTN, we paid for that. And then expenses, they were all fairly the same until your girl decided to go and see an optometrist. And that is because I work a lot with computers, you guys. I not with computers, but I work a lot on a computer, and I'm always creating content. I'm also on my iPad a lot. I'm always in front of a screen, let me just say. And I felt last month I started feeling like I started struggling with my eyes, like in terms of getting constant headaches and blurry vision sometimes, and you know, it was just hard. I think I was spending more time then in front of a computer. So I wanted to go see an optometrist, but I didn't. So this month in October, I definitely took myself to an optometrist. I had not planned, I had not budgeted, I did not even know how much I was going to need. All I knew was I needed to see an optometrist and get this thing in order. So I went there. We did the test and everything, and then ended up coming out having spent 3,215. This is after my medical aid paid, you guys. I have a cheapest option when it comes to my medical aid because I'm cheap like that. Very cheap. I will not choose the most expensive thing, you guys, when there's a cheaper option. I will not. So even with my medical aid, I am on Beryl because I'm on GEMS, and that is because I'm not a sickly person. I hardly go to hospital. My daughter is also not a sickly person. We are not sickly people. When we are sick, it's something that you can go to a GP for and get attendance on. But in terms of like severity, no. Even though I'm asthmatic, but my asthma is also moderate, not severe. So I ended up having to pay 3,200. That money came from my savings from home. The savings that I had created for home, that money came from there because I had not budgeted any money. I had hoped that I'll spend about 1,000 at most, but nope. Things have went up, so I ended up having to spend that much. And then also I needed to buy a car part. Something happened to the seat belt buckle. Something got stuck in the buckle of the seat belt, and so it doesn't lock. So I needed to get that part so that we can eventually go take it to VW for them to change it. So, and it was also my mistake, by the way. It's the car that I drive, even though my partner owns it, but it's the car that I drive, and it was me who got something stuck in there. So I felt responsible that I needed to go and get the part for that seatbelt buckle, and that costed me 2,317. So both of these things together costed me 5,500 and something. This is money that I had not planned to spend. This is money that I had not budgeted to spend. It was just, I had to tap into the easiest savings that I could get into. Not my emergency fund, not anything else, but rather the easiest savings that I could get into. And those were my home savings. And that is why right now on my home savings, I'm sitting with about 3,000 something. So that is what happened. That is why I'm saying my budget, as much as I may set a plan and say these are things that I want to do, but life happens, some things do happen that you have not planned for. But it's always nice when you know that you do have some savings or some money that you can tap into without having to go towards debt. So for me, as much as I'm bored, which I had to spend this much money that I did not plan to spend, did not budget for it, but I'm also glad that I didn't have to go into debt in order for me to deal with these things. And when they told me, the optometrist, that I have to pay that much, I had to ask myself, like, are you really going to leave the classes knowing very well that you need them? Because I needed, when we did the test, we discovered that I also need something that will help me read, and it does help, even though my eyesight is not that horrible, but with the glasses, like, it is even more crispier, So it helps me to read, but also it also has a film to protect it for when I'm on computers, like in terms of the blue light. I'm sure you can see the blue light there on the corners. So it's more on reading and the blue light, not for walking around. I've tried to do that. Whenever I walk around with them, I sebenz. So that is my budget. That is how things went in October when it comes to my spending. Now I want us to just go into my overview, because I took time to also do my overview right there at the end. This is the same thing that you'll find in the 2025 journals. At the end there is an overview, slightly different in terms of design and the context, but it's still there definitely. So the first question here is, budget met, yes or not? If not, what took you off budget? Yes, my budget was met. I would not say that these things took me off budget, because I still took from the money that I had budgeted just for something else. Okay, biggest wins this month being, for me, I would say the biggest wins in October were being on YFM, Metro, and an Expresso show, which was the morning show on TV, and then being able to reach 90,000 on my emergency fund. Like, honestly, you guys, like, some of those things that are happening, it's not even a matter of I've planned them. I don't even plan for them, but they're just happening, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So I'm grateful for these opportunities. And then what to improve in the next month? I want to do cash stuffing. Like, I want to be very strict when it comes to cash stuffing for home, because I didn't do cash stuffing in October. I don't know what happened, but for some reason I know what happened. I got paid when I still had money from last month, and so when I got paid, I didn't see the need for me to go and withdraw, because I was still fine. I had an envelope that I had not used, so I had not finished, so I used that money. And so withdrawing money and then having to cash stuff ended up not happening. But I do know that it did mess up my month. doing that. So I want to make sure that in November, when I get paid, I withdraw the money that I'm going to need for home and I cash stuff it, because that will honestly help me to stick within my budget for home. The other one, it says here, this month I'm grateful for all the opportunities I have been given this month. I'm grateful for the community I have built. Honestly, you guys, I'm grateful for all the opportunities that have been landing on my lap. I'm so grateful. But I'm also grateful for you. I'm grateful for the love, the support, the encouragement, and just knowing that you guys are there, for you guys to smash those like buttons, subscribe and watch. I'm honestly grateful for all of that. Please do know that I do not take it for granted. And then this month's challenges, if any, cash stuffing, I was not able to do it. Thus controlling my spending was hard. So that's something that I picked up with. I didn't do that, and as a result, my month was a bit of a blur, and I cannot understand when it comes to my spending what's going on. And that's one thing that I like about cash stuffing. For me, it gives me clarity when it comes to where am I spending my money. Now, what will I focus on in the next month? I want to focus on planning for the trip at home, because that one is very, very important to me. I will share with you guys the details maybe after, but not now. I'll share the details after. Now let us go into November. In November, I'm going to have financial goals and business goals. The first one for financial goals is I want to save a minimum of 11,000. I don't think this is going to be possible, but we're going to put it there. Challenge ourselves. Deposit a minimum of 5,000 on my emergency fund instead of 10,000 and reaching 100,000. We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna, let's say, minimum 5,000. Business goal, I want to open for pre-orders on 20 November. So hint, around after the 15th of November, do know that the pre-orders will be open. But obviously, if you are on my email list, you will get an email notifying you that this is the date for pre-orders, so that you are aware, and then you can put your order, you guys. And then in December, my goal will be, when I come back from home in December, because I'm going to come back beginning of December, I'm going to be focusing on shipping out the orders. So get in your order in November, so that when I come back, I'm just shipping your order. And then the first week of December, you can have your order before you go home as well. Let us look at my budget. We're going to go over to the desk and we're going to look at my budget. So the first thing that we're gonna write here would be my income. For my YouTube and affiliate income, I think it's going to be around 15,000. So many of you guys clicked on used my link for the Frank affiliate link. You used my link even, I think, on TikTok and Instagram, because those videos did amazing there as well. So I think that's the reason why my earnings went up, and I'm honestly just grateful for this, because this money right here is going to help me cover one of the biggest expense this month in November. So the YouTube together with affiliate, I think it's going to be around 15,000. And also, because you guys smashed that like button and you watched the video, you got the video to up to 30,000 views, my earnings on YouTube has also went up. I'm currently sitting on 4,000 earnings for this month. Obviously, this is not money that is hitting my account, because we get paid after the 23rd on YouTube. So right now, though, on my earnings, they have moved from the about 2,500. It has went up to 4,000, and it is because of you guys and your support. So thank you. So that money together, the YouTube and affiliate, I'm estimating that is going to be around 15,000. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. Okay, so now from my income, my other income remains the same. It's 4,240. So all in all, I know how much it's going to be. I know how much it's going to be all in all, including my work. But we're going to leave it at there. And then now let's look at my emergency fund. And here we're going to put it under savings, because Frank Group has savings now. So what I did last month is I took 8,000 for my emergency fund. I put it under savings under Frank Group, but it's still part of my emergency fund. So I want to top it up and get it to over 10,000. So right now, for my emergency fund this month, I want to put at least a minimum of 5,000 on my emergency fund. Education fund still remains the same, 1,100. Stockfell, 500 rands. And then December, this one is going to change because of these expenses here at the end. Because of this expense, And I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this expense, but for now I wanted to save 5,000 for December. I don't think it's going to be possible, so we're just going to leave it as it is for now. And then we've got the debt, which is the MTN 930. Now let's look at my expenses. My expenses are quite a lot this month. I think my expenses are going to be over 26,000 this month. So now let's look at the first one. The first one is car hire. Now for when I go home in November, I'm going to need to hire a car for a lot of days. I think it's about 8 days. So when I was looking at cars, I think at most I'm going to spend about 12,000 for car hire. So that's how much money I'm going to budget for this particular expense. Now I'm gonna try to find a car that is below 12,000, but I need a car that is up, like that is up in terms of height, and not a small car. So that I'm just thinking that I'm just budgeting 12,000 for that expense, but I'm gonna hopefully try to find something that is below this 12,000. Then we've got water, electricity rates, and levies. This I'm going to put 3,000, and then petrol I'm going to put 1,000 because I'm two weeks off November. I'm not gonna be here, so petrol wise I don't think I'm going to be utilizing that much petrol, so I'm just gonna put 1,000 for this month. And then insurance remains the same, which is 1,250. And then we've got rain last month. Oh, another thing that I didn't say to you guys, last month on rain I had to pay double because the previous month I forgot to pay. I forgot to pay, and when I wanted to pay for last month, I saw that I needed to pay double, so I had to pay 1,200 to 1,000 something. Let me tell you just now. Now there for rain I paid 1,138 last month. So this month I'm going to pay the normal price, which is 580, but I think it's less than that, né? So that's how much it's going to be. For funeral cover, it's going to be 500 rands. School, 800 rands. I think this might be lower for school because I think this is the last month that we're paying for aftercare. Like October was the last month because we're paying for November. In December, I don't think we're going to be paying for that. But for now, I'm just going to put it there. If we do end up saving, it's going to help to cover some of my other cost. For my life cover, it's 265. And then for Netflix, it's 200 rands. For my personal trainer, it's 1,500. So my personal trainer is 1,500 because the discount is over now. So I've had discounts for past 2 months, but now we are on 1,500. Yeah? And then weekly allocation, instead of putting weekly allocation for 4 weeks, I'm going to do it for 2 weeks. Mainly because the first 2 weeks when I get paid, remember I get paid after the 15th, right? So when I get paid on the 15th, the following week, I'm not going to be here, and the other week I'm not going to be here. So 2 weeks of November I'm not going to be here, and which means that I'm not going to be spending money on groceries for those 2 weeks. So I'm going to only cash stuff for 2 weeks, which are going to be for December, the first week and the second week of December, because the third week of December, then I'm also not going to be here. So I'm going to be putting away 2,600 for this expense just for 2 weeks, né? And then for food, I'm going to put 3,000. This is food for the expenses at home, né? Yeah, this is food for home. Without sharing too much, this is the money for that. It's not food for here, it's food for home. And then I'm also going to have to budget for flights. So my budget for here is going to be 4,000. I think it's going to be less than that in terms of my spending because it's just me and my daughter, but I'm just going to put 4,000 for now. I'm hoping that I will find a flight for less than 2,000. I'm hoping. I'm not sure if it's possible. I'm hoping though. Okay, so I'm just going to put 4,000 for now. And then a dress. My tailor said it's going to cost about 800 rands, so I'm just going to top it up with 100 rands for just in case, because I think I want him to add some things on a dress as well. So I'm budgeting 900 rands for the dress that my tailor is currently making for me. So that's that. And then blankets, I need to buy blankets. So but I'm not going to take from this money that I'm going to get paid. Rather, I want to take from the savings for home, and then from that money that is going to be left for home, the other money will cover accommodation. So this one will just be for blankets. I need to buy a few blankets that I'm going to need for home. So anyone who wants to guess, they can guess all they want. I'm just not going to confirm any of your guesses, you guys. There's some people who guessed it right. There are some people who guessed it right. Not that I said guess it, but some people suspected and they guessed it right in the comment section. And I'm not going to confirm. I am not, until I'm ready to say, yeah, okay, guys, this is what's happening, or this is what has happened. But I'm not going to confirm anything. If you want to put 2 and 2 together, put 2 and 2 together. If you want to leave it on the comment section, leave it on the comment section. But I shall not respond on that comment. I shall not respond. So do know that. Ne? So let's calculate and see how much these are going to be. How much this is going to be. I'm not going to include this one because, as I said, this is going to take from my savings. So I'm not going to count this one. Minus 1350. Okay, it's plus minus 31,595. Let me see. Plus 930 plus okay, I'll be fine. Yeah, so as you can see, this is quite high, very, very high. But you know what? I'm fine with it. It's fine because it's just for 1 month. It's just for 1 month. In December, I'm not going to spend as much because I think things are just going to change. So I'm not going to spend as much for December. But I know that for this month is going to be a lot of money that is going to be spent. And my budget is telling me that I'm going to be ready for that. I was actually panicking for some time, but I think I'm going to be fine. I think what helped me is this additional income right here, because it's going to cover this major expense right here. And then the other income is going to be able to cover, my other income here is going to be able to cover these other expenses down here. But this one was the one that was concerning me a lot, the one for car hire. So yeah, if you are watching this video and you watch my channel and you work for Avis, Europe or budget cars, whatever, please guys, give me a discount, please. Or if you want me to promote, I can do a reel. Please sponsor your girl. Please sponsor your girl. If you work for these companies and you know how to pull the strings, how you can get someone there to say, give this girl a coupon code, please guys, give me a coupon code, please. I can really need it right here. I really need it. Your girl needs your help, please. Ne? Hit me up. My email is down on the description down below, on the description box. If you know that you can help me with the discount code for any of these car hire companies, please hit me up, especially if you work for these companies. Hit me up, please. With that being said, let's go back where we started and close off this video. Now that we are done with my budgets, I'm going to close off this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was a short one, not a long one at all, but I'm glad that I did this one because early and before the month starts. It gave me so much clarity on all the things that I might be spending on this month, and it's going to be a lot of spending this month, and so planning and just making sure that I'm sticking on budget is going to be super, super crucial. So with that being said, I'm going to see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.